So today we're looking through our weld tests, and here at Bear Welding we do it way different than other shops. Other shops do 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G. We like to do fabrication tests. We'll give you your parts, you'll weld it up and grind it out. So the first thing we look for is, did you build your whatever you're building correctly, your weld test correctly? The main difference between a welder and a fabricator is a welder sticks two pieces of metal together, make sure it holds, but a fabricator takes a print just like this one and comes out with the finished product on the other side that's built correctly, welds look good, and is grinded smooth. Now this test was built incorrectly. I think they swapped one of the parts out. The welds are pretty gummy worm. They're pretty cold. Didn't know how to set his welder up, and the grinding could be way better. And there's some spatify right here. Cut your hands on. The second thing we look for is the quality of weld. So this guy went way too hot on his welder. It looks super beefy. If you know the machine like the back of your hand, you know the settings and how it runs and everything. You should not have a weld this big. We called for a 1/4 inch. This looks about 1/2 inch. This guy was not hired. The third thing I'm looking for is how you ground your welds down. A big mistake people make is over grinding. I mean, you can always take away, but you can't always add more in certain places. Another thing I look for is how it feels in my hands. If I run my hands through these pickets, I can tell he didn't spatify at all. This one, for example, he ground way too much in these flat sections. He had the right tool for what he was going for. In this setting, we typically use a band file to get that nice and flat, but if you're doing that with the dyno file, it just not gonna look good. It was overground, common mistake, not hired. So here's a weld test that turned out really well. He had tons of experience, knew what he was doing. You can see right here, a weld right here, it's perfectly flush, 1/4 inch diameter, which is what we love. The grinding, it feels so good in my hands. Everything's straightened out. There's no divots anywhere. The spacing is perfect. The welds look really good. Did a great job spatifying, and this is a guy we hired right on the spot. We have a few weld tests that don't pass and they find another purpose in life. This one, for example, is a door stopper. If you're just graduating school or you've been in the industry for 15 years, you want to come work at a shop like this, the main things we look for is, can you read a print? Do you know your welder like the back of your hand? And can you grind something to make it look beautiful?